Let's talk about you personally and the people that you've played with. So let's talk about it from a playing perspective. I think you touched on Cooper before, but playing across two codes, who's the best you've done it with?
That's a tough one, mate. I'd like to think one of the most. I'd go say Coops, Bill, and Matt Giddo would be the three most professional people I've ever played with. Gitz has got so much rugby league about him. It's not funny in the sense that the way that he prepared, but I can only go off what I've seen, and that's the big thing. Like what I've seen from the way that he's prepared and the way that he's gone about his footy is just phenomenal. And that's the same as the way that Bill did, the way that Coops did. They never missed a rep, never did anything wrong. Everything was perfect, and it's probably why their careers stretched out so long.
Yeah.
Then you got Cam that was just a natural leader. Do you know what I mean? And he just never got flustered. He wasn't the fittest, he wasn't the fastest, wasn't the strongest, but he just fucking do his job.
Is that Cam Munster?
No, Cam Smith.
Okay,
Cam Smith, yeah, just done his job. And then you got Munster, Quady, all them. There's so many freaks that I've played with, and to narrow it down to one would be unfair on so many others because I think that Genya, Willie G was good, Quady, you've got all these as well that were just phenomenal. Do you know what I mean? And that's for me to narrow it down to one on the best footy player. I'd say, I don't know. I'd say I got a real Coops would be the one because I played so much alongside him at every level. I reckon he would be. Then I'd play with Jonathan Thurston. Do you know what I mean? He's as fucking as good as anyone. He's as good as anyone. Do you know what I mean? So that for me, it's very hard. But
I told you, you're like
You've
the
been
rugby
pretty
equivalent of Forrest
You've
Gump.
been pretty lucky.
Yeah.
I haven't
He
even
just
said
named 10
but
fucking Hall of
that's-
Fame.
Oh yeah, play with that guy. Play with that guy.
And then you throw Inglis in.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. I'd say Greggy is the most naturally gifted athlete.
But he was superhuman. He's what, 6'5",
Oh,
fast as
mate.
the wind.
Mate,
He would have
110
been worth 10 million, mate.
He was
Yeah.
he was phenomenal. We'd always used to make this joke: how strong is Greggy? Just strong enough. How fast is he? Just fast enough to beat you. Because you'd never. I don't reckon he ever reached his full potential.
Never looked like he was
Yeah,
trying.
exactly.
Never looked like he was trying.
Yeah,
but he's
it's-
just gassing everyone.
The gym coach at Melbourne's got some crackers about testing days and stuff like that. He'd go pick up 40 kilos to practice his squats, and then away he'd go, mate. He'd go out and squat 220 with ease. He's just he was phenomenal as an athlete. But I don't know. It's so hard. To narrow it down to one player that I've played with, it's so hard.
You mentioned some big names and I'm obviously only have exposure to rugby, and I put Willie Genia in this. He's in a different sort of level, but he was one throughout his career. Obviously, he made tons of sacrifices to get to where he was. With rugby, especially rugby union, we travel the world. We have great nights on the piss. We have fun all over the place. But Willie was always one. He wouldn't enjoy those things as much. He'd pick his times, 1 or 2 times a year. Were Cooper, Cam Smith, and were they the same, or were they more sort of involved in the team?
That's what I mean. Cam would win games, and Cam would be still in his gear mid-morning on the piss.
That's so good.
You know what I mean? But then
He's a kid from Logan, mate.
Yeah, but then Bill would enjoy a beer, but he wouldn't get blind, and then Coops might get on the piss here and there. It was just they were all different. It was just a different dimension. You know what I mean? I remember after an Origin, that all three of them would be on the piss with you, and you'd be going, "Fuck, we got to play in 2 days." And you'd be looking around going, "Are these three?" And they just all back up. There was no issue. And I remember one day, I asked them why they backed up when I was younger. I said, "Why do you always back up?" And they're like, "Well, if it wasn't for the boys that were in this room now, that we're playing with at Melbourne,
wouldn't be playing
we wouldn't be playing Origin." So that always rings clear.
So selfless, hey?
You watch Melbourne. Melbourne always, all their Origin players always back up. Very rarely do you get rested.
So good.
And I always ask that same question that you asked them. I'm like, why the hell are they backing up?
But it's because without and then I remember we played this one game. And it was at the Amy Park. I was sitting there going, "Fuck, why am I doing this?"
Head noise.
They're over there preparing normally. I'm going, "Wow." And then we get out, we go smoke a team, and you're just like, "Yeah, now I know why I'm doing it." But because, teammates rely on you at clubland as much as they do at international, at state of origin level.